It is now 9:30 and time to get started with our, I'm getting a whole lot of noise by somebody. Okay, seems to have stopped. Okay. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, it is now 9:30 and time to get started with our LMI Feedback Online Sales Certification Lesson 3 on the LMI Marketing System. Chris, you were the first one here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much, guys. Hi, everybody else. No, I'm doing fine. Absolutely fine. Thank you, Sam.
Good. Don't go away because we're going to use you to help us with our icebreaker. Can you see the screen?
Only smart people can read this. I couldn't believe that I could actually understand what I was reading. The phenomenal power of the human mind, according to research at Cambridge University. It doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be in the right place. The rest can be a total misses, and you can still read it without a problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. Amazing, huh? Yeah, and I always thought spelling was important. Yeah, okay.
Did you ever see this before?
No, I didn't.
You did a really good job on this.
Thank you. But it is true, you know. Look at SMART, whether it's SRMAT or SRMAT or the R at the S and the T are in place. So we know it's SMART. Look at the way people are spelled. No, the human mind is wonderful, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Okay, let's see. Kaylee, it shows that you're offline. Are you offline or are you actually there? Okay. Nella. Good morning.
Yes.
How are you doing this morning?
I am fine. And you?
I'm doing great. Do you know I was going to pick on you?
No.
Oh, well, you think this one was bad. Okay, it's your turn.
It's this message serves to prove how our mind can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, 17 was hard, but now on this line, your mind is reading 17 automatically with without even thinking about 17. Without even thinking about 17. Be proud, only certain people can read this.
Okay, very close. The only thing you missed is instead of 17, it should have been it.
It, okay.
But otherwise, that's pretty good. I just thought I would use these two items to show the fact that we can do phenomenal things with our mind and not to limit yourself by what you think everything needs to be perfect, because definitely this was not perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. This morning we're going to go over how we did with our 7-day goals. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with, let's see, how about Shanadi's?
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. My 7-day goal was actually it was different, but after we sat down with Roxana, the business goal was to review and prioritize the HubSpot segments. And I did that. And my personal goal was to, every time I feel sad, mad, write down something I'm grateful for. Well, actually, Roxana told me that I should focus more on creating habits, not becoming sad. So I was a bit upset last Thursday night, but I managed to calm down by writing down why I was mad and by using affirmations. My development goal was to look online how to improve my writing and reading skills. And I have found a website or a couple of them, and I will sit down with Roxana to review which one is the best one, so that I can use that as a guideline.
Oops, I was muted. I said, good. I had written down here, inspirational video. Was that one that was changed?
Yeah, I changed it because after I heard about the music, I did not watch the videos. And I did listen to The Eye of the Tiger and I loved it. So I changed also my action steps throughout my personal goal and development goal and business goal. So I'm getting there.
Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sean, you're next.
Hi, everybody. My week was very good. My business goals were to classify my prospects in my database. It's a process I'm not finished with yet, but I made great progress. The second one was a development goal to attend the Master Prospector class, which was held by Merlin. I did attend it. It was a phenomenal class. I left quite inspired by both Merlin's personal story and his journey within LMI. And the personal goal was to apply the spaced repetition principle. In that, one, I would review one of the programs that I've done in the past in light of being a product of the product. And then the second one was to assist my daughters as they're back to school now to recap on the previous semester's work to prepare them for this coming semester. So it's been a good week.
Okay, good. Now, looking at the Master Prospecting class from Merlin, and the fact that you don't get paid for what you know, only what you do with what you know, what did you learn from Merlin's group that you applied this past week?
Definitely the center of influence concept. Greg had taken us through this concept of having a center of influence and leveraging off that center of influence. And it's something that I put to heart this past week, and I sat down, and from family members and relatives to friends to acquaintances, and I started to plot out the possible centers of influences that I have in my life, and I was quite surprised. There's many. There are many people out there who I believe would be willing to assist me and refer me, and it's something that I'm working on quite actively.
Did you actually talk with any of them?
Yes, I did. I made appointments, in fact, with 3 of them this past week.
All right.
And they are all keen. They are very, very excited with what I'm doing. They're very supportive, and one of them is actually quite interested in the program himself. So it's been a good week.
Okay, cool. That's where I was heading. That is the result. That's what you did. That's great. So congratulations.
So something else, if you don't mind, Sam, that I want to share that I took out from the Master Prospector class was that Merlin asked us all just to introduce ourselves. Who are you? You know, and obviously and the second question is after that is what do you do? So one thing I learned from him was that we don't have to stick to the standardized format of saying I'm a leadership coach or I'm in leadership development. You know, he gave us some great examples. One of them was that when people ask him what does he do or who is he says he's an excuse remover. And it's always a great way to open up, or to open up that curiosity. Another one, he said that he's a dream converter. So I found those quite interesting. That you can in one line, in 3 seconds, ignite some interest and open up a conversation with someone just by them asking you, "Hi, who are you, and what do you do?"
This is true. Good. Thank you for sharing that. So which one do you use?
I think for me, the dream converter resonates quite well with me, and because everybody's got a dream, and everybody would like to understand what do you mean you're a dream converter, and it just opens me up then to be able to talk about them personally and their dreams. And once we make it personal, I share a bit of my story, as to how I got where I am through LMI and now in LMI. And then we then take it to the next level, which is his business or his organization and so forth. So it opens up a great conversation.
Well, that's a good one. You mentioned everybody has a dream, but there will be people who say, I don't have a dream. And that's great because you could help them get one.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. Thank you. All right. We're going to move on to Nella. Nella, you're up.
Yes, my development goal was to read an article on how to improve my writing skills. I did that. For my business goal, I also had to review and prioritize the different segments or courses of the hotspot software. I also did that. And my personal goal was to drink 5 glasses of water daily, and I also did it.
Okay. Do me a favor and send me an email on the hotspot software. I'm new to that one. I'm just curious.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you. And Kaylee.
Hello, everyone. Quite a good week for me. So business goal was to read a book that I have on lean manufacturing and then submit a proposal to a client, which I did that. And I feel quite confident that I've grasped the concept quite well. Personal goal was to meet up with an old friend while I was in Durban last week. And I did that. We met for coffee at the airport. And it was really, really, really great. I'm very glad that I did that. And development goal was 5 new Zulu words in 1 sentence. So I've got those down as well.
Okay, good. And you do work with lean?
Yeah, so we do quite a lot of training in factory environments. So one of the things that we're now introducing is lean manufacturing, the 5S system.
Okay. We have a website it's you want to write this down?
Yep.
www.lmi-inc.com/webinars.
Okay.
And here in the States, we do webinars from time to time. And one of them that was done, and it's under best practices, and one of them that was done was on lean by one of the individuals here in the States that is a lean person, lean consultant. I forget what automobile manufacturing company he does all of his work with. It could be Toyota. And he did a webinar on how to integrate LMI into lean that you might find interesting.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll definitely go have a look at that as soon as we're done on this call.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jonathan.
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. The last week I have recuperated my lesson 2 and make my lesson 3 during my vacation, Sam. And I have profited of my vacation too. My personal goals, I have run 40 kilometers this week. Yeah.
Okay. And I also have down here time for family.
Yeah. And good time with my family.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I am botanic.
Pardon?
Sam, I'm here with Jonathan, so you can I just want you to know.
Oh,
I will pass when it will be my turn, but I'm there.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you, go ahead, because now I know you're there. So
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so my personal goal, we had good time with family. We made activities, we made sports. It was great. My business goal was harder. I did not accomplish all of what I wanted to do, but well, I plan to make 4 appointments a week. I did a GPS on that, and I didn't draw my network as like I wanted to do, and I didn't practice my presentation as much as I wanted also, which was my development goal.
You say you did not, or you did?
I did not.
Okay, and what stopped you from doing the things you said you wanted to do?
It's maybe because of the changing, because we were like in vacation with kids and everything, and I didn't took the time to do it.
Okay, are you still on vacation?
Next week, yes, also.
Next week also.
Yeah.
Do you remember what Sean was talking about as far as an excuse remover?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It was good also.
In order to be an excuse remover, you're not allowed to use excuses.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So now this week, the best thing to do is, okay, say what you're going to do and then do what you're going to say. And if what you're planning on doing is something that is not possible because of something else, then you need to change it so that you can hit your 7-day goal. And the reason I think this is so important, this is for everybody, is success begets success. When you have people in your classes and they don't hit their 7-day goals, they can develop a habit of not hitting them and thinking that it's okay. And you need to stress to them that it's really not okay, that whatever you write down is really important to do because you're programming yourself for your future. So, okay, enough said on that. I think you got the point. But,
Yeah.
you know, okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
You are welcome. And let's see, Frederick.
Hello, Sam. Hello, everybody. This week I have performed pretty well with my 7 days goal. My personal goal was to do my familiar budget, and I complete. My development goal was to do a GPS form to learn English, and I complete that form too. And my professional business goal was to build $1,500, and I missed that target by $63.
$63.
Yes, I missed 1 or 2 hours this week, but I invest that hours in my family. I choose to stop the work time.
Okay. All right. But hey, you got close to the 63. I mean, you got close to the 1,500. So now
Yes.
it's a good thing you didn't convert that into like euros or dollars, and you used your Canadian dollars, correct?
Yeah, 1,500. It's maybe 3,000 American dollar. No, it's maybe 2,000 American dollars, and maybe not 2,000, but 1,000 American dollars and 900 or 1,000 euro.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
And let's see, who do we got next? Is Chris.
Hi guys. Yeah, it was a pretty good week. I have 2 sessions with Jaguar Land Rover tomorrow, and on Friday, and I completed the analysis of the figures for both sessions. I created a great PowerPoint presentation, And then another goal which I've had in the back of my mind for some time. Smollen International is a company that has got a worldwide footprint on retail merchandising, with their head office in Houghton, Johannesburg. And Greg and I are seeing them at 11:45 on Thursday, which could be a great contact. From a personal goals, I'm still busy with the Newry app. It's getting better every day, and I'm sticking at that. And then from a developmental side, I was looking for a book for a long time. It's called Ethics, the Leadership Edge by Lawrence Cooper, which is a local lad from South Africa. I managed to get hold of that, and I completed The Fourth Industrial Revolution by Klaus Schwab. He's the chairman of the World Economic Forum. Very, very interesting. And he talks about the artificial intelligence age.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this appointment that you have coming up, have you done any work with this organization in the past?
No, we haven't. No, I certainly haven't. And Greg seems to think that some time ago, he recalls that there was contact between South Africa, LMI, and Smollen. I have a very close friend that runs one of the biggest labor brokers, labor solutions in South Africa. It's called Pinnacle Labor Solutions. And he's just completed a session with the group on their employee engagement. Although he calls it employee engagement, I looked at the program and I looked at his presentation. It more seemed, it was like an ESI, Employee Satisfaction Index. And that led to the need for developing their people. And that's how, and the first thing he did was he contacted me and he said, Chris, we need to get going on this. And yeah, that's where we are. I'm really looking forward to the meeting on Thursday with Greg.
Oh, good, cool. Boy, you got to keep us updated on that one.
Certainly will do. I'll certainly will do. And obviously, you know, I'm a dreamer. I'd like to dream. And looking at them, if you guys want to just maybe Google them, Smollen, S-M-O-L-L-A-N, with a worldwide footprint. And interesting enough, Smollen asked my connection, Tian, whether the LMI footprint will match their footprint. And there was only one country which we identified, which is called Mayar. I have no idea where it is, where there is not an LMI footprint. Otherwise, the footprint matched for what it's worth.
Cool, great. Yeah, but even in some of those different areas, we have people that will travel, and depend on how far it is from other areas. It may not be that big of an issue. We have a number of international accounts that are being done, and one of them was had a plant in Italy, and the guy and one of the people from Germany who was working with that organization in Germany as well went down there, and it turned out it didn't work real well because I didn't realize that they don't necessarily match personalities. So we had to get somebody from another area, but that's not unusual for having people to do that. And there are times that companies will even pay traveling expenses, but you have to remember that it takes you out of circulation anytime you're doing any kind of traveling of that nature. So you're on the right track. So good, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Jeremy, are you online or on the phone?
I am online.
All right, cool. How'd you do on your 7-day goals?
I did pretty well. My personal goal was to exercise 5 times, so I did that, which always helps keep me grounded and in a better mood, so that was good. My developmental goal was to start working on a blog, so I did the outline and I wrote kind of the opening paragraph, but I still need to work on that, but I at least got it started. And for business, I did a few different things. I signed an agreement with someone who's going to be setting up appointments for me. I made a tentative agreement with someone who's going to be an associate, but probably not really start doing anything till after summer. And I did put together a 1-page marketing sheet which was kind of inspired by working with the person who's going to be the associate and the one who's going to set up meetings to help make it easier for them to know what to talk about and how to introduce me. So I was happy with that.
Okay. No, that sounds good. There's movement.
Yep. It's a little preliminary. I wish that they were more results-based things, but at least they are steps.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Is there anybody else that's here that I haven't called on yet? Okay. I think I got everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to, okay, the LMI Marketing System Lesson 3. How many times did you read and listen? What was your most important idea, and what page did you find it on? And then how did or will you use it? And then how did you score yourself? So what we're going to do is I have a list here in alphabetical order, and Nick, you happen to be number 1 because your name starts with an A. How's that?
Perfect.
You're probably used to that.
Yes. So I listened 5 times. I read it 5 times. And the most valuable idea from this lesson was a simple one. Information without application is merely entertainment, which I didn't mark the page. But I know it's written like at 3 places or 2 places. And how I will apply this idea as follow is, I love to read books on development and assist to conference, but I want to get the most important idea to apply it in my life, just to be more in action than just passive listener and find everything interesting, but not putting it in action. And I score myself 7 out of 10.
Okay, good. Good, thank you. I always like that one, that idea. So, okay, Chris, you're next.
Okay, the most valuable idea from this lesson is that the whole methodology that we can apply in the showcasing to get the EDM involved, some of his subordinates, starting off with a relatively low investment to demonstrate the value of our programs. And then once he starts seeing and experiencing the results and goals, we can run it out to more levels within the organization. And that's what lesson 3 probably taught me. And I thought a heck of a lot about this whole showcase idea. I just have one question though, and if it is a stupid question, my apologies. If we showcase an EPP, and we have 3 from company 1 and 4 for company 2, and we follow the script on when we're going to do it and blah blah. Each participant, Sam, will they invest in an EPP, or is it one EPP for the showcase?
Nope. Each person has an enrollment or a program. So,
okay.
So if there's 2, it's 2 times that amount. If it's 3, it's 3 times the amount.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So the whole showcase methodology, and my target there is we have a new kid on the block from a cement manufacturing perspective. There's a medical doctor called Dr. Lalau Mohube, and he created the Dangote organization. And we have made contact, and I'd love to run the showcase, the EPP showcase out with Dangote Cement. Okay. What happened now?
Oops, sorry, I was muting myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the next question?
No problem. Good. And when it comes to the showcase, there are different terminologies that people use. Some people will call it a community class. Some people call it a showcase. But it's all basically the same type of thing. And it's to have individuals from different companies to actually participate within the group. So good. Thank you. Oh, score?
I scored myself 10 because I did a lot of work on this. I read 4 times, I listened 4 times. I can't tell you where I found it in the lesson because I tend to memorize these things. So somewhere in lesson 3, but I scored myself pretty high. I did a lot of work on this one. I needed this one in a big way.
Good. Good. Glad to hear it. Okay, Nella.
Yes, I read 3 times and listened 3 times. My most important idea is the same as Anik. Information without application is merely entertainment, and that's on page 5. How I will use it? Well, after reading various articles that show the consequences of not drinking water, it has motivated me to drink more water. So I didn't only read the information, but I started applying by drinking more water. And I score myself an 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Frederick.
Okay, I listened this lesson 3 times and I read 3 times. The most valuable idea to me, it's a long shot item. My goal is to partner with the organization and establish long-term relationship through establishing an ongoing continuous improvement program with them. How I will apply this, because I start from scratch. I didn't sell the program yet, so I will contact the economic decision maker to propose the LMI programs. I have some contacts in my network, and I will start with these contacts. My target is the companies with 25 employees or more. I score myself maybe 5 because I have a good foundation. I have a network, but I haven't approached my network yet. So I will begin next autumn, maybe in September. So it's a big challenge to me. I have to start to sell.
Okay, and why are you going to wait until September in order to start talking to these individuals?
I want to be sure to understand the LMI program, but I have a goal to sell 1 program in August, so I have to start before September. But I want to be sure to know I have the interest. I want to have the knowledge of the program before I approach the person.
Okay, now I see you're with Anik, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you one of her associates?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to be facilitating, or is Anik going to be facilitating?
I will be the facilitator, but now I take a program with Anik now, and she's the facilitator for the leadership, personal leadership program. So I will begin to facilitate maybe in the end of the beginning of September.
Okay. Are you putting together a showcase program?
Not yet. I didn't facilitate a program. Yet I didn't participate to a program yet, but I want to maybe facilitate my first program with Anik. It will be easier to me probably.
Right. Okay. Now, and the other thing about the group of you, because it seems to be 3 of you in an area, if you all pulled your resources, it should be a lot quicker and easier to pull together a showcase class or a community class if everybody just brings a couple of people into the group. But the other thing is, in your situation, because you said, I want to be sure I know enough about the program, rely on her ability and what she does. You're going to eventually get there, but if you wait until you're there, nothing ever happens. So you know that she will back you up. She will help you. Rely on her background, credibility, and business acumen, the things that she has. That might help you in feeling more comfortable in talking with people.
So I understand that maybe I have to commit as soon as possible to begin the first program with clients, and see after if I need help to facilitate that group.
Okay. All right. I just thought I'd bring that up. So you're okay.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Jeremy, you're next.
Hi. I really like the idea of the executive showcase. I had heard about it, but it never quite clicked to me what it was. So I like the idea that it's a lower investment, so it's easier to get people to move. But I also really like the fact that I can just go ahead and schedule one, having no one sign up for it yet, and use that as a way to get people to move. So rather than say, are you interested in doing this? When do you want to start? Say, I'm doing something starting in October 15th. Do you want to be a part of that class? So I like having that discrete time frame built in.
Okay. How many times did you read and listen?
I read 5 times, and I give myself a 7.5.
Okay. All right. What do you have a showcase scheduled?
No, I just was occurring to me right now that I need to look at my schedule and schedule one so that I can push people towards it. I think maybe October or early November, so that I have time to try and fill it up.
Okay. October would be best. There are different times of the year, and one of the things you're going to be dealing with is called the back to school syndrome.
Yeah.
Okay. So people are getting used to back to school. It's just a normal routine for us here in the States, especially where you are. And so to schedule it so that it coincides close to when the schools start, people get used to that. Also, if you start your showcase too late in the year, you can run into some of the holidays, which people will always use as an excuse, and there's a way of overcoming that. But just to make it easier, if you use the back to school syndrome as a way of getting people introduced into the program, I find it's easier.
All right, I will do it.
Okay, cool. You can talk to Mark about it. He'll help you out.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. And let's see, Jonathan, looks like you're next.
Hi, I listened 3 times this week and read 2 times, only 2 times. But the most valuable idea is to develop a partnership with the organization and then establish a long-term relationship with EDM. And I apply this idea. I will be doing my presentation with the intention of a long-term relationship, and I will make sure to show them the result. And my score for this week is 5.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. Sean, looks like you're next.
Without repeating too much, I think the one strong idea and my most valuable idea this week was the executive showcase process. And how I intend to use this process, in fact, I've started already, is to schedule an executive showcase. We plan to run it for 8 weeks in the month of September and October, hoping to get them before the peak season, which is November, December in South Africa. And I plan to secure 5 prospects going forward to secure that, to close that date. Scored myself for 8. I read 7 times, and I read 3 times, and I listened 7 times.
Okay. Quick and right to the point. Okay, Shanades. Okay, it shows you're unmuted, but we're not hearing anything.
Are you hearing me now?
We're hearing you now.
Okay, so I've listened and read 3 times. The most valuable idea from this lesson was the problem is that information without application is merely entertainment. The LMI process takes the information and delivers transformation of participants through attitude and behavioral changes that get on the job result. This makes LMI program unique. I got it on page 9. I will apply this idea as follow by not only saying that I want to accomplish my goals, but to create habits, behavioral changes, and also use affirmations to change my attitudes. I have scored myself a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. Cool. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Kaylee.
Yes, so pretty much exactly the same as everyone else. The main idea, most important idea is the executive showcase. How will I apply it? I'll actually use it. I've heard about it before. I think at the convention this year, I heard about it. Even made a note to look at what it is, but never got around to that. So actually in future sales calls, actually make a suggestion of doing that. Listened 4 times, read 5 times, and overall score 7 out of 10.
Okay. Cool. Think I got everybody? Did I miss anybody? Nope. Okay. The LMI marketing system objective is to help you build a business base with where you will probably be less than 100 companies. Can you build a kind of business that you want with less than 100 companies as a base clientele? Why or why not? Who would like to take that?
I will.
Okay. Go for it, Nella.
It's not...
No, Shanades. Okay, I saw 2 lights pop up. Okay.
Okay, so I have written down, yes, you can. You need to build a clientele of 25 to 50 companies that continuously use the LMI product line and facilitation service for performance improvement of individuals and their organization. The goal is to build long-term relationships.
Okay. All right. Who else?
Yeah, I agree with that, and yeah, you certainly can build it if the size of the companies within the base afford you the opportunity through that very employee base to sell more programs down the line and build those long-term relationships. So for me, it's not really whether it's more or less than 100 companies. It's more of the quality that I have in whichever companies that when I apply the LMI marketing system into, Sam.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. When it comes to working with your base clientele, one of the dangers that a person can have is what we call the mother load. And that is you get into an organization and all of a sudden they dominate all your time, your efforts, and they start feeding you all this business. And then you forget about everybody else and you start doing all the work with this one company. Remember, you have not yet met your best client, and you don't keep clients forever. Things happen. Companies get bought and sold. People take over. People get promoted. There's just different things can happen. Somebody could come to power, and their brother-in-law works for a development company, and you can't fight blood. So there's always something that you have to be cautious of. And one of them is if you spend all your time with one or two organizations or just one industry, and all of a sudden something happens to that industry, then it's like starting all over again. Because now you got to go out and you got to start working from the bottom and build up again. We've had some people here in the States that, which is not unusual for people to work within specific industries and become, quote, industry experts. But one of them was they worked with a lot of construction. And a number of years ago, the construction industry, the bottom fell out of it. And because of that, there were a number of organizations that went under. They were just cutting back to the bare minimum to keep things afloat. And people that were working with those organizations found themselves between a rock and a hard place. In other words, they had to start over again and look for other opportunities where money was easier to come by for development purposes. So you have to have a balance in what it is that you're doing. But keep in mind that if you had 25 companies that you were working with, and on the average, each one of those companies gave you 10 participants a year, you probably would max out on the amount of time that you have to properly facilitate those people in order to be able to produce results. In fact, I'd say it would be kind of hard to facilitate 250 people a year and really do a really good job without having additional help. So if you have an admin person and you have other people helping you and you have other coaches and mentors and whatever, and those people knew what they were doing, you probably could pull it off. But you have to guard your time and what you're doing with those organizations that you're dealing with. So when you're looking at building a business, you may have to go through 100 different companies in order to find those 10 to 25 that you're going to work with on a longer term basis. Okay, so anybody have any questions on that? Thoughts? I must have done a really good job in explaining it. Chris, your light turned on.
Yeah, I certainly buy what you say, and I grew up in the automotive industry in South Africa, and it's an industry that is taking some strain at the moment, and one has to guard against the proverbial all the eggs in one basket and spread it across industries to minimize what had happened in the States with the construction industry, as you just alluded to. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I really, that's a lot of food for thought there, Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's different pockets, and there's in every economy, in every area, there's always something going on, and you just got to find out where that is. So, okay, next question that I have here on application and action is, why does LMI suggest an executive showcase process? I think we've actually talked a lot about that already. Does anybody have anything to add to the executive showcase process? It's really a simple concept, you know, of if I want to sell you a bushel of apples, the best way to get you to buy the bushel is to taste one of the apples, and if you buy the apple and you like the apple, you buy the bushel. So I think we've covered a lot of the executive showcase, and again, sometimes we call them community classes. And the reason why they call them open enrollments or community classes is because you have some new clients in there, but you also have some existing clients that may have one or two people that they want to put in because they've hired some new people. And that way you have a place to put them in order for them to get up to speed with the rest of the people within the organization. So a lot of reasons to do that kind of a course. Now, the next question here is, there are 4 words, all beginning with R, that laid a foundation for great success in LMI business. What are they? Who would like to be our person to share with us that item? Sean.
I'm willing.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, the 4 words are results, referrals, resales, and relationships.
Okay, and that is extremely important. One of the things that I find, for whatever reason, that those individuals who do learn to do it outperform those who don't 3-4 times to 1, and that is the referrals. When I got into the business, I moved to a city that I didn't know anybody and started all over again. And I learned that one thing I did not like doing is making cold calls. And I learned to leverage, and we're going to talk about leveraging in the future. But I had a goal to make and build a referral-only business. I wanted to get to a point to where if you weren't a referral, I didn't bother even calling on you. And you can do it, but the only way you're going to get to a point to where you have a referral-only business is you got to learn to ask for referrals. One of the number one reason why people don't get referrals is they don't ask. And you can ask everybody and anybody for a referral. So yeah, definitely the 4 R's, practice those 4 R's, remember those 4 R's, and apply those 4 R's. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, next question. What is the most important benefit to you of the LMI marketing system? So let's see. Jeremy, I haven't heard from you in a couple of minutes.
The most important thing for me is getting new clients quickly. So it's the speed of it.
The speed of it, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Nick, how about you?
Okay. Well, it generates sales and income quicker. It gives a reason to meet and start a relationship with EDM. It provides a way to demonstrate the LMI process and results to the participant can achieve. It leads to in-house sale, more showcase sale, and other LMI product sale. So
okay.
There's a lot of benefits.
All right. Do you use the showcase up in your area?
I didn't yet. Well, I have some scheduled for the September, October, and November.
All right. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else have something they want to share on that one?
Yeah, I think, guys, you know, if this, our business is not a hit and run business. It's just built on relationships, and people do business with people they trust, like, and respect. And the LMI marketing system is certainly enabling me to start this relationship with an EDM and to demonstrate and showcase our products in order to start those relationships. And I think this whole thing is about relationships. Sam, if you want to get into the referral business only, you got to build the relationships first.
Oh yeah, you got to build relationships. Well, actually, you don't have to do it first, but it helps to do it over the long term because you don't build relationships immediately necessarily, unless there's some kind of a connection there. But you can ask anybody for a referral. And that's why I'm just, talking about a referral. Now, developing centers of influence, you'd need to have a relationship with a center of influence. It's just, it's just a must. But the know, like, and trust, people could get to know you, like you, and trust you when they meet you if you have that aura about you. But you don't have to wait. I've asked people that I've met in social situations, hey, who do you know who owns a company? I used to ask, I'd ask anybody for it. One of the something that happened, just give you an idea, is I was talking with IBM. They were a prospect, and I sat down with the quote training department, HR department at IBM. And IBM agreed that the LMI process was far superior. The plant that I was talking to was far superior than the process that they were currently using to develop their people in-house. And so I said, okay, then how can we get this implemented? And they came back and said, well, our mandate is to provide 40 hours worth of training a year. And I said, okay, so that's your mandate, and you know that our process is probably the best process you can use to do that. And so how do we go about implementing this? And they said, no, you don't understand. Our mandate is to produce 40 hours worth of training a year, or provide 40 hours worth of training a year. And as we went forward, they stopped me and they said, look, where in our mandate does it say anything about producing results? Our mandate isn't to produce results. It's to provide 40 hours worth of training a year. And the easiest way to do that is to give them 1 week of training per year so that we could hit our mandate. So we didn't, quote, fit the model that they had for their mandate. But what they did say that they would do is they would give us what they called, oh, come on, Sam, get it together. Preferred provider status. And as a preferred provider status, anybody within the plant that wanted to take our showcase program, community class program, they would automatically pay for it. But they would not send anybody or give me any names of anybody to talk with within the company. So I had to find those individuals. So everybody I talked to, I asked, hey, do you know anybody that works at IBM? Because I knew where the money was going to come from. I just didn't know where my clients were going to come from IBM. And so, you don't have to wait until you actually have developed a relationship to ask for referrals. It's easier to get them, yeah, but you can get referrals or introductions into organizations without having to go through all that. So, any comment on that? Okay, the next item that we covered was enthusiasm sells, and that was the recording. Who listened to that this past week?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Okay. Okay, Sean, you did?
I did listen to it. And I must admit, it wasn't the first time. Greg had given me this tape to listen to before.
Okay.
And I was very, very, very inspired by this tape. I mean, there's so many nuggets I can take from it. I mean, Paul Jemaya talks about the CCCDCC: create confidence, create desire, close and collect, and go to your next one. You know, he talks about the advanced man. He talks about us being word merchants. You know, using words to dramatize and paint a word picture.
With all the
He
colors
talks
of the
about the
rainbow.
That's right. It talks about the 3 E's: excitement, emotion, and enthusiasm. And really, for me, I firmly stand by his conviction and his belief that enthusiasm or enthusiastic confidence is one of the key pillars, or is one of the key drivers of a slight edge. If you are enthusiastic and you have enthusiastic confidence, you have a slight edge automatically.
Definitely. Good. You did listen to that. You got that down. Okay. Who else?
Sam, I listened 2 times, but Mr. Meyer speak very fast, so I don't have the written transcription. So, but I get some idea. To succeed in something, you have to have an interest and knowledge and enthusiasm in that subject.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And since you have the recording, you can listen to it as many times as you want.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Kaylee, how about you? Did you listen to it?
I must be honest, I did start listening to it and then I got very, very distracted with something that was happening at the time and stopped after about 2.5 minutes, and I didn't listen to it again after that, unfortunately. But I will make sure that I listen to it at least twice this week.
Good. Good. Okay. Because we definitely got a good recommendation from Sean on that one. Okay. Anybody else? These recordings by Paul Meyer are really special. And maybe it's just me because I actually attended the sessions. I was there when he did the recordings, but still, even though I was there, I got the recordings because I couldn't take notes fast enough, and I wanted to learn all those items too. So that's great. I'm glad to hear that you're listening to them and you're getting those nuggets from them, because that's where the organization actually started. Okay. Any questions or comments on this week's lesson? Okay, then moving forward, the next lesson, which is lesson 4, is on the My Time Personal Success Planner. Now, I know that not every country uses the My Time Personal Success Planner, but the concepts are something you need to work on anyways, and to understand what it is and how it operates. And now that we're introducing it in a digital framework, it's really starting to take off even more with the millennials. So with that in mind, what we're looking at, what happened? Okay, read, listen, highlight, make notes, complete the online feedback sheet. The additional areas of development, developing your personal mission statement. Part of what they're going to be talking about this week is your personal mission statement. Now, if you have one, great. If you don't have one, then it's time to work on it. There is a personal values rating form as for an assignment this week at the end of the lesson, and a personal mission worksheet. There are actually 2 pages. And so complete one. If you don't have a personal mission statement, it's time to get one. Okay, next, SMART goals. So we're looking at our business, personal, and development SMART goals moving forward. And I'm going to start on my page here, and I'm going to write them down. And Nick, you're number 1 here on the list.
Yes. My personal goal would be to train 4 times 30 minutes. And my business goal will be to prepare a blog article 1. And my development goal will be to read 30 minutes and write the important idea after my 30 minutes of reading.
And that's daily?
Daily, yes. For the last one.
Okay, so you're going to have 7 items.
Yeah. No, not just the reading. Reading 30 minutes each day and write the most important things I read. So I will have 7 important things.
Right. Okay.
But 1 article of blog, just 1.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Chris.
Yeah, obviously my first goal is to listen to PJM's enthusiasm sells. Just listening to Sean on the value that he got from it, it has to be top priority. But then also a business goal this week is to set up this meeting with Dangote, and hopefully I can tag Greg with. On a personal, it's the knee rehab, guys. I had a serious issue with the knee, and I'm getting through that rehab. And then development goal, I'm an avid reader, and I'm completing Ethics, the Leadership Edge this week.
Okay, writing it down. Okay, got it. Nella.
Okay, my personal goal is to drink 5 glasses of water daily, read 1 more article on how to improve my writing skills. That's my development goal. And my business goal is to watch the first and second video of the inbound sales course. It's part of the HubSpot software.
Okay. All right. And Frederick?
Okay, my personal goal, I want to read a novel, you read 4 times this week, 30 minutes each time. So I will read maybe a half of a novel. My business goal, I want to prepare my meeting, because we in the August 21st and 22nd we will go to LMI Canada head office in Toronto, and this week I want to prepare that meeting. And my development goal, it's write a 1-page summary of an article I will read this week, all in English.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Jeremy.
Yes. My personal goal this week is, again, to exercise 5 times, but I would like at least one of them to be an open water swim. My development goal will be to complete the first draft of the blog and get it edited by at least 2 people. And my business goal is to ask for 1 referral per day.
Did you ask for one yet today?
I have not yet.
Okay. Well, we're going to see how well you do on that.
All right.
Okay, Jonathan.
Oh, my business goal. I will sign 1 prospect for complete showcase schedule in September. My personal goal, planify my month and my comeback in work after my vacation. And my development goals, I will search 2 prospects for October showcase and upgrade my discipline. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I'm writing it down. Okay, Kaylee?
Okay, my business goal is to look at my existing prospects and contact them to offer the showcase to them. Personal goal is...
How many?
I'm actually not sure. I'm going to have a look at that list first, but let's say 5 at least.
Okay. All right.
Personal goal is obviously gym 5 times this week, but then I also want to do 5 meat-free days, so no meat products for 5 days this week. And then development goal is, again, 5 new words, 1 new sentence.
How's that going?
It's going okay. I'm battling a little bit to force myself to do it because it's difficult. So, but I've made a pact with one of my colleagues from Joburg, and we have a phone call every Friday, and I've said to her she needs to test my words and my sentence every Friday when we talk. So that's going to push me now.
Isn't that a lot more fun when you're doing it with somebody else?
Yes, it really is. It really helps a lot. And also just to be able to say it out loud to someone and talk through it, it really helps me to remember it and learn it and get the pronunciation as well.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Good. Thank you. Sean.
My business goal, well, I've got sort of 2. One is to complete my prospector classification. I started last week. I got through 1,500 names. I need to get through the last bit now just to finish off that process. And also, similar to Kaylee, to secure 5 prospects for the executive showcase that we plan to run during September and October. And maybe Kaylee and I can have a chat afterwards to see how we can join these if she's running it in Johannesburg. Personal goal, this month is Women's Month in South Africa, and one of my ways to support the Women's Month is to have a no alcohol month, so alcohol-free month. It starts this week, and this week is the first week is always the hardest. So alcohol-free month to support Women's Month in South Africa.
Okay. And which one was the development goal?
I didn't have one. I've got 2 business goals instead that I've put forward.
Okay. I'll accept that. All right. Good. Thank you. Shanadis.
Yes. My personal goal for this week will be start a journal by writing down twice a week my thoughts, and I will be writing it down on Wednesday and Sunday, because I think then, it's mid in the week and prior to the week begins. And then for my development goal, I will look online for an English dictionary to better understand English. And for my business goal, I will take the HubSpot sales software course, and this is by watching the first video, and that is about contacts.
Okay. All right. I think I got everybody. Did I miss anybody? Nope. Okay. So to end our class, we have a quote by Paul Meyer, and that is, "Be aware of the sacrifices and the hardships involved in becoming a winner, but focus on the rewards of success." So with that little tidbit of advice from Paul, I'm going to say thank you for attending today's class. See you next week, same time, same station, and class dismissed.
Thank you, Sam. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Sam.
Cheers, guys. Have a good week.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.